If you've got a great idea and you're ready to start pitching to those companies and you want a few extra tips, watch this video. All right, I've got Dana back. Now that I've got her for a little while, you guys, we're going to really dig in to a certain area that I think is the hardest thing on the planet to do. In fact, I have a project I'm working on. And I'm pretty good, Dane. I've reached out to companies my whole career, and I don't want to do it. And
Mhm.
I have someone, Chad, doing some work for me on the side. I probably didn't tell you that.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, you're taking them off away from me, are you?
Well,
Oh,
I am, and it's separate. And
yeah.
Chad was like, Steve, why don't you do this? You don't want to do this. I said, Chad, I don't want to do this. And I know you're so much better at this than I am now, reaching out to companies because you do it every single day. So, Dana, what is it about reaching out to companies every single day that just makes it work so easy for you guys when a lot of us don't want to do it or we struggle at reaching out to companies to pitch your ideas?
Well, the one thing is the more you do anything, the better you're going to get at it. The more comfortable you're going to get at it. That's just a fact. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And that's why we're so comfortable because that's what we do all day long. I think that a big part, and like I said in the other video, it's about the language. We know what to
Yeah.
ask for. But this is the thing about reaching out is that I may talk to someone who has no idea what I'm talking about.
All right.
No idea at all what I'm even trying to do. So what I say to that person after I call them up, hey, who I am and what I'm looking for, and you can hear, you can know, why? Because there's dead silence on the other end of the phone. They have no idea.
All right.
So sometimes you have to, and that's where you do your research prior. If you know somebody you want to reach out to in that company, you can ask to be connected to that person because that person has the right title, or you can ask for their email address. And it's just how you get so good at doing anything is you do it over and over and over and over again.
Is it easier to do it because it's not your idea?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me that. Yes, it is easier. In fact, I've often thought if I come up with an idea, I'm going to act like I'm somebody else pitching the idea for somebody else.
You know why?
I can't believe you said that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I started to realize why is it easy for you guys? And when I saw the scripts that you guys were using, I realized
Mhm.
you're neutral.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just a connector and you're not emotionally attached to any idea. So you're not nervous about it. You're casual about it and you can navigate to get to the right people. It doesn't stop you because you're thinking, are they going to like my idea?
No, right. There's somewhat emotion in it because we're fighting for our clients, but there's no personal, like this is my baby and I want you to see it and tell me how beautiful it is. And it is a different mindset. That's
Yeah, I
interesting.
noticed that right away. Dana, the other thing I noticed too is that you're not calling as an individual, you're calling as a company.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that make a difference too?
I honestly think it does. I do. Because I'm using my title as the director of inventor relations and the
Okay.
that it it just, gives me a little bit of like, I don't know, maybe I'm an important person. Like I have that title, which by the way, I gave it to myself anyway. So just, when I first got the job, when we first started doing this, you said you're inventor relations, and I sent out some emails and it just said inventor relations. And I'm like, no, Stephen, I think I need to be the director of inventor relations. He said, okay, you are.
I, you know why I think it makes a difference?
It,
I've seen it now. You've showed me when you respond to a company versus an inventor responding, that they don't respond as fast or the percentage is really low
yeah.
when an individual responds, but they seem to really respond when a company in your title responds. You
Mhm.
get you get a within hours you get a response, and
Mhm.
sometimes if you're an independent inventor sending it out, you might even get ghosted where they don't respond at all, even though they know it's coming. It doesn't work. So I think that that combination of knowing the world of licensing frontwards and backwards, getting to the right people, knowing that any questions they're ever going to ask, you've heard it before, so not a
Pretty
big
much.
deal. Knowing how to navigate their phone system, know how to navigate departments. I think that's a big deal. We've talked about that before. But also, you're not emotionally attached to it, right? You're trying to find the right company, but you're not afraid of them saying, I don't love your idea. But also, uh, we're a company, right? And we've done this before, and they seem to relate to it because they're a company, we're a company, so they understand that connection of professionalism.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't really know because I have to honestly say, not this might sting you a little bit, but I don't know that a lot of companies know who InventRight is.
No,
They
they don't know
don't.
who you are.
They're looking at a couple things. I mean, the language that we use, and we've shared it before on, my emails to companies are no more than 3 sentences. If even that, depending on what I'm pitching, I guess. And that's right there tells them that I'm professional.
No, I don't think they know who we are because we haven't ever positioned it that way
Mhm.
through the education. But I do know this too, and I think everybody's going to be surprised. They really care about a good idea.
They do.
Okay,
They do.
yeah, and they don't really care what you've done in the past. They care about what you're showing me now, right? I think you can leverage some of your success. Of course, that could probably open some doors. We've done this for so many years, but at the end of the day, what are you showing me now?
Right. Right. What do you got now? And there's something we're, that I truly believe, because I've heard it from companies, and I've said this before, and I'll probably say it 100 more times, is that companies are open to new ideas. They don't want to work with inventors who don't know what they're doing. And they can tell. The reason that I get such great response rate from voicemails, emails, LinkedIn messages is because they can tell by my message that I know what I'm doing and I'm not new at this.
Yeah.
And
And I
that's
think,
probably one of the biggest, mistakes that inventors make is they don't know the
well,
language.
Dane, I think the reason why, and I used to think the same thing, is that it's just the idea that matters. That
Mhm.
everything else I could be, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but my idea will be so big and so important that it doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I,
Mhm.
it doesn't really work that way. No.
Yeah. No, no. And I was under that belief too. I didn't realize that I didn't know what I didn't know and how important it was to know what I didn't know until I knew it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense to me. Yeah. And I'm grateful that I was in the game long enough that I didn't quit early on, and that you had somebody on the other day on one of your YouTubes that was taught. He was the guy, he had the haircut product, I think, and he was talking about, how much money he invested in to bring the product. And I think it was him that just says he just keeps wanting to learn. And I like got that. Like that's how I am. I just want to, how can I keep getting better at this? How can I keep getting better?
Yeah,
Learning
you
from other
know what's
people.
interesting about Ryford, you're right. I've
Yeah.
known Ryford for a long time, and I've been helping him for years, and it has nothing to do with licensing.
Yeah.
It has to do with some other skills that he knows he doesn't have. And so he surrounds himself with people that have more knowledge in certain areas. And he said something that was really important to me. He goes, "You need to learn in order to earn."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know. And a lot of people don't realize this. Hey, I'm going to learn this along the way, which is fantastic because it's going to probably be a little frustrating. But he has surrounded himself with people to elevate his game faster. And he's invested in himself, and it really has paid off. So, anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Dana, thank you for coming on InventRight TV. Keep out there pounding down the doors, reaching out to those companies because I know you guys do a good job with that.
And we have fun doing it too. We have a great team over here. And when you have a great team to work with, it really does make the job, the work, the goal a lot more fun. Like, because we share it with each other all the time. Well, you hear about all the companies because we're in a big email thread, and we every time we get into a company, blah blah blah, companies in the Gateway database now. But we also privately like share our wins and joys, and Chad will call me and say, "I gotta talk to you real quick. You're not gonna believe what happened." It's so fun to be in it with some other people that get that natural, like it's like I talked about before. It's a high. It's a dopamine rush when you're talking to. I was talking the other day. I reached out to a ton of people in this one company, and the only person that got back in touch with me was the CEO and general manager.
Oh.
And he said, yeah, we're open. I talked to a woman that said we're open, but she couldn't give me any email address. She just gave me a generic email to send information to, which I did. I did ask them, what's their process and all that. But then I just started reaching out to, I probably reached out to 30 people on LinkedIn, pretty big company. And this is funny because the CEO connects with me. And as soon as the CEO connects with me, other people start connecting with me.
Dana, I want you to, why do you celebrate so much when you get into a company? Because I can tell you why I do. Well, let's put it this way. It's a big win because it's not easy to do that. So I remember early on when I was reaching out to companies and I'd get into a company, I was so excited. I'd go down and tell my wife, I got it. And she's like, what do you,
Yeah, big deal.
what? I don't understand. What's the big deal here? They didn't take your idea. You don't understand. I've got a company that wants to see my ideas. It's that step closer to getting a deal.
Right.
It's
It's
a,
just one step closer to the goal of the dream that all inventors have of getting their product out there for other people to enjoy, to say, that's my product. I created that. And maybe we're just weird like that, but think about every other things that people do, hunting or fishing, and they spend all that time learning about that sport or that whatever it is, and they spend hours and hours and hours out in the woods freezing their butts off, right, and to get that that game, or to catch that fish. And I'd be like, yeah, why are you so excited? You caught a 40-pound
this is
fish.
not easy. It's
Because
not
it's
easy.
easy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but think about that. But so this is our hunting. This is
Yeah.
what we hunt. And in a good way. We're not, catching anybody with a hook or shooting anybody, but it's like it's the hunt and the kill. And then that doesn't sound right, but we'll leave that in.
Well, yeah.
It's
Well,
and it's the dating, like a lot of, and I usually use this. You talked about Dana's dating service in one of the videos a while back. And sometimes I will say I'm courting this person for months. It may take months for me to connect with that right person in that
yeah.
right company to get a response. And I
No,
will court
it's
them.
no, I think it's you're tracking. No, 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 wait. I think
Okay. Tracking.
you're tracking that catch. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's kind of a relationship to that. And I'll tell you, it does feel great when you land the deal. When you catch that big fish or when you land that prize or when you whatever you're doing, it feels fantastic. And it's not the big deal yet. Okay, but you have to get there before you get the deal. And it's important and it's not easy to do. So anyway, Dana, thank you for coming on. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
caring so much about people's projects and thank you for getting to the right companies for everybody.
Thank you. I want to thank my team too, because we're rocking it. We're
Um,
we're we're pretty damn good.
yes, you are.
In fact, I just said to us that we had a meeting of the team on Friday, and I said we are the best in the world at this. We are the best.
Well, I'm really glad you said that, Dana, because I think the goal when we started thinking about the gateway is how can we be the best in the world at this and how can we be the best connector in every industry and how do we have that date? We're a dating site. We're a dating site with inventors with ideas and companies looking for them. We want to be that site that does that.
Hmm.
Um, and you're right. I've said early on, it's important for us to be the best in the world at this, and you guys are doing it now.
Yep.
So Okay, guys, Stephen Key, InventRight TV, Dana Knowles, Director of Inventor Relations. You guys, she's going to track it down for you. And if you've got a great idea and you think it's perfect for our Gateway program, reach out to Dana, reach out to Sylvia, call, and see if you are the right fit. We'll send you an application and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
There
you
you
can
go.
book a call on our website. Just pick a day and a time, and you'll either get me or Sylvia or
Oh,
Andrew.
all right. Thank you, Dana. Take care.
Okay, see you later.